Somebody, please somebody, can anybody find me? Proofreader. Okay, proofreading. 5-5. Here we go. So we're talking about proofreading today, and the reason why we are talking about this is because it is part of the writing process. So we've been discussing and hitting this pretty hard this trimester, the writing process, because it is a process. It is a work in progress, and we've done pre-writing and drafting. Last time you wrote, you did revision, and now we're going to talk about editing. This is really where we're focusing today. So what do you do when you go through the editing process? Take a deep breath. You're not going to write a bunch of stuff, okay? Your assignment will be things that are already written, and then you are finishing them. You're tweaking them. You're editing them. So what does proofwriting do? What do? You look for your grammar, making sure that you have complete sentences, that your punctuation is on point, that you are ending your sentences with the right punctuation marks, that commas are being used, and that you're using capitalization and spelling. So these are the pieces that we're going to hit today. Here we go. The first one is grammar. And so grammar and sentence structure is the order of words and the way that they sound as you are reading them, as you are speaking. And so sentences need to have their parts to make sense. Good old Yoda here, he could maybe use a lesson in grammar. So maybe we should give him a lesson in grammar. He says this line, "Go you may with me." And these are words on a page. They don't necessarily make sense, and they do not have a full sentence right now, the way that they're written. Now, in our brain, we can unscramble them and try to make sense out of that. And so I'm wondering, can you rearrange Yoda's words for correct grammar? So we had, "Go you may with me." Think about it. You may go with me is what he means. So he's telling Luke, you can come with me. It's okay. Other pieces of sentence structure. So how do you know if something is not a complete sentence? We determine that by looking at subjects and predicates. Now, these are big fancy words, but what they mean is, do you have a complete idea, or is it a sentence fragment? Do you only have a part of the idea? So these are phrases on the left here that are a sentence fragment. All around the zoo, when he arrives, jogging around. We do not know the full picture. All around the zoo, what was happening? When he arrives, what did he do? Where is he? Jogging around. Who's jogging around? Where are they jogging around? We don't have the full story in these sentence fragments. So this is where the subject and the predicate come in. The subject is who is the main topic of that sentence. The predicate tells us about the subject. So who's the sentence about and what are they doing? So all around the zoo, something's happening. So that's a predicate. We don't know who's doing something. And on this one, when he arrives, now we have a subject, but we don't know what he's doing. And jogging around, we have another predicate down here, but we don't know who's jogging around or what they're doing. We don't know if it's a man, child, or animal. So I'm going to give you an example. So here's two sentences that are broken down into subject and predicates. The boats zoom back and forth all around the lake. So the boats, what are they doing? They're zooming all around the lake. When he arrives, he cannonballs off the dock. So what I wanted you to do is to think about what's happening all around the zoo. Can you complete this sentence? in your assignment, you're going to be asked to complete the sentence. So here was a practice, blank, 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 all around the zoo. What's going on all around the zoo? And then when he arrives, what does he do? Where is he? You decide. This is the fun part. This is the frustrating part for some people. Moving on to punctuation. Punctuation are the little pieces that we put in a sentence that give it character, that give it tone. I know some of you guys like to use exclamation points and question marks, and you do this like alternate thing to make your point. Some of you like to make emojis out of your punctuation marks. But what is punctuation? Why do we do it? When we punctuate our sentences, it gives meaning to what you write. Think of it like facial expressions. Your facial expressions, your hand gestures, your body language helps the person that you're talking to understand what you mean. With our tone of voice, how we speak, those help create meaning. Punctuation marks do that in writing because you cannot see the reader's face like when you're typing. I mean, maybe you could if it's like your best friend and you can imagine what they're saying. But punctuation marks are the clues that signal the emphasis that your body language would normally be giving off in writing. So let's look at punctuation in terms of the end of a sentence. So there's 3 ways to end a sentence: a period, a question mark, and an exclamation point. A period is ends what we call a declarative sentence. It's your most common used ending. If someone is asking a question, then it becomes interrogative. And if we're ending with an exclamation mark, it is exclamatory. I always felt like that one was the easiest one to get because they look the same. So let me give you an example of each of these. I will travel to Texas in June, period. I'm stating a fact. I am declaring, I am telling you this is what's going on. And then I take that, but I kind of make it a question. Are you going to Texas in June? And then the last one, exclamation, wow, you get to travel to Texas. Somebody might be excited. I mean, my sister is excited because I'm excited to see her. So